Hi guys, today we are looking into a scenario in which Bosnia has a civil war in 2022. And who starts it? Well, you'll see. And it's none other than the Srpskins. But, Srpska could win. Is that a part of Srpska? I think so, so I'm going to put that in. Then at this time, there's a Bosniak-Croat alliance. But neither side is mobilized, so this leads way to an offensive to the north, towards the border. And to connect the front line, which would be pretty great. You only want a small brush as well. Big brush could be like a 6 is a good size. And they push in to the northern area. Well, this is where their pushes start first. They push up, taking out this area that's non-connected, pushing and uniting their forces. Well, they succeed in this, and they push in. It's pretty successful. Well, the campaign here cuts off Bosnia from Bosnia, and they quickly take over this exclave. Bosnia starts an offensive now. Well, not into themselves. Well, Bosnia has a lot of success, even cutting off some forces who were getting ready for an offensive right here. So, a few units gathering forces for an offensive in the southern Bosnia. So they take that up. Strategically, this was really good. And the problem is that, well, it's also Croats doing it. So if the Croats decide they're doing all the work, they might rebel. But you never know. It's not like the thumbnail told you what's going to happen. Well, it could have, but it didn't, definitely. Well, they're offensive. They connect here. Well, Bosnia, in an attempt to cut off their forces, they do this with a big chunk of their forces, but it was a bad idea because, well, Srpska encircles them and takes out these forces, which basically is not good because not long after this, well, Srpska crosses into Bosnia and Herzegovina. Well, the north isn't doing so well. Well, Bosnia, as the Croat area realizes they have another good spot to make an offensive. Along with Bosnia, they make offensives, although Bosnian forces aren't really doing as well as Croat forces. The Croats feel. Well, Croat nationalists feel. And the nationalists in Croatia are getting more and more push to rise up. Because Bosnia is failing on the battlefield, which in a multi-ethnic area, not a really good idea to do. Well, they push in. Well, after seeing more defeats they realize they're carrying Bosnia on its feet, and Croats are unhappy. So, with straws broken, well, and basically no Bosnian forces in their region, well, they rise up and take their occupied lands with them, which is a lot of lands. But at first, they don't go against, well, Bosnian forces. They're fighting for staying alive against Srpska, which have a rising nationalists now. I mean, you can imagine this is an offensive. They're spearheading north. I don't know how they're doing so well, but I think it's because, well, they were already mobilized fully when they started this campaign. They push up the border between these two areas of Srpska. A major area of Srpska, so Srpska does send forces to push the spearhead back. Both spearheads back. But since for some reason I decided everything around Bosnia should be under the ocean, well, this Bosnia map is pretty good. Probably seen the thumbnail and knew what this would be about. Well, that movement of forces did leave Bosnia an advantage, a badly needed advantage. They push them to the border in areas. There is a belief Croat forces are sending weapons too. Hold on. There's Croat forces here. Yeah. In this area. But they won't give up. Well, then these forces take it back. Srpska is not in a good spot right now. Because they're in the middle of reorganizing, which leads to some Croats in the north uprising. But they don't do much. They don't contribute much because, well, all they do is this. But Srpska is focused on taking out Bosnia. Which Srpska's army is getting exhausted and tired of fighting. Which Bosnia uses to its advantage to push in. Well, Bosnian forces push up. Well, it's great because Bosnia is now turning the war around in their favor. Which Croatia sees movement of forces because of this operation, and they push up. Well, they even, to mess with them, push up here. Just to mess with them. Well, it works. And Croatia's headed for a major victory in the north, which really raises morale after the second state has fallen from Serb. And it's like a big area of Srpska. Bosnia sees this, and its morale has gone up, too. Oh, Srpska's morale goes down, and, well, Bosnia takes advantage of it and pushes up. Well, Bosnian partisans rise up and connect. They push to here. Well, it looks like Srpska is not going to do well now. Well, the movements go down to a regular scale it was in this war, and they start their offensive into this region. They started push north, push south, cutting this area off. Which Bosnia, which was struggling at the beginning, has gotten high morale. And its goal is to try to get the Croats to reunify with them. Which and then they connect here. And then, since they can, they do this encirclement. Well, Serbs got so low in morale right now that, Croatia pushes up, meeting with Bosniak forces, and pushes down. Oh. Which leads to good when, Bosniaks make an offensive up here. And they push in the south, and they push up. Well, it's a really great offensive, and, they are winning. They're on the winning side of this war. Much like how Ukraine is beating Russia. Like Finland did, but Finland, what we forget is that, did Finland really beat it? You know who bet the USSR? Estonia, Latvia, Lithuania, and Poland. And sadly, Ukraine almost did. Well, they almost did. Oh, the ones here start making offensives, but Srpska has no morale left. And due to this, look what the Croat forces do. And due to that, look what the Bosniak forces do. And they decide to put pressure on the Croats by actually attacking them, which Croats are infuriated by. Well, Croats may be infuriated, but it doesn't really matter. Because Bosnia doesn't act. Because Bosnia doesn't realize that they have a higher morale. Big oof up. I know. And encirclement time. Yeah. Croats are doing pretty good. Showing Bosnia reform its Bosnia starts doing very vicious moves now. Worst moves ever. So bad that, some Croatian villages, I believe there's some here, rise up. And right here. I wonder what they're doing to have rise-ups. With direct attacks on Bosnia, things are starting to look good. With them going around here, encircling forces, almost encircling. But they do manage to encircle these forces, and they start pushing around. They succeed. And Bosnia is almost fully kicked out of... they start pushing up the edge of Srpska. And then they push over, encircling these forces. Pushing them back to the border, neutralizing their forces. All their offensives into taking these lands back go well. Well, Bosnia is formed into Bosnia and Herzegovina now by Croatia. And what are they going to do about state borders? Well, they're going to do what you would think. Well, well, now let's look at state borders changes. We'll be back in a second with the border change. Well, now you get to see the changes in the map, because I'm back. And the changes in the map are basically, let's go to the Croat lands, which are these. And these. So that's what the Croat area looks like. And now let's look at the Srpskan area. Well, no, that's some of the lands, that land. This is the Bosniak area. This is what the Bosnia and Herzegovina now looks like. And you can see the reds, the blues, and the purples. Oh, thank you for viewing. I hope you enjoyed. And you know what? This video is great. And well, and now let's see what you need to do. Okay, please like and subscribe. And we're working our way to 100 subscribers, but our goal right now is 50. And at 50 subscribers, I'll have a special. And I can't tell you what the special will be. You'll have to subscribe and figure out. When we get to 50 subscribers, because 50 subscribers will be amazing. And, you know, Wild Mapper is great. So, Wild Mapper out.